Hello guys, Furball, the hammy or friendly neighborhood hamster is back again for another Hypixel Skyblock video. So in today's video, this will be an updated version on all gear and weapons that I use for mages, starting from Catacombs 9 all the way up to Catacombs 30. However, before we begin, be sure to subscribe because at 27.5 thousand subscribers, I will be doing 150 of the newest dungeon floor, and at 30,000 subscribers, I will be grinding slayers until I get every single RNGesus drop. And without further ado, let's begin the video. Also, take note that this guide is for right-click mages and not left-click mages because I don't play left-click mage. So just expect this to be about right-click mages. So firstly, let's talk about weapons. If you are just starting out and want the taste of dungeons, or if you're on a budget, you can consider the Bonzo Staff or even the Epic Dreadlord Swords. But note that these weapons are only viable for floor 4 and under. You generally don't see these weapons being used for floor 5. If you do intend to seriously grind dungeons for floor 5 and floor 6, these weapons will not cut it for efficient runs. Now, for those who are ready to invest and work on dungeons, because dungeons is really profitable and I've made over 400 million coins from it so far, to be honest, and it is really quite worth to invest in these weapons, or at least the cheaper ones. For under Catacombs 25s, your loadout should be the Spirit Scepter, the Frozen Scythe, the Voodoo Doll, or the Ice Spray wand at Catacombs 20. For those above Catacombs 25, you have an option to upgrade to a Midas Staff or a Yeti Sword. Now, while the Yeti Sword is still weaker than the Midas Staff, it is a budget powerhouse option. It is after all approximately 2 to 3 times cheaper than a Midas Staff. And it is still viable if you're at Catacombs 28 but don't want to drop a bomb on the Midas Staff. Also, for pure right-click mages, always use Necrotic and Loving Reforgers for armor, and Giant Reinforced or Perfect Reforgers if you want more EHP. And now let's get on to the armor sets. Firstly, for those who started out late on dungeons but are late/endgame and are rich, I recommend you to start out by purchasing floor carries from Discord servers such as Dungeon Maniacs, link in the description, instead of from random parties in lobbies due to credibility and the possibility of getting scammed. It is generally better to do it so in these legitimate Discords. Secondly, if you aren't late game or end game in dungeons and don't even have 5 to 10 million coins spare to drop on dungeons, I really don't recommend you to do dungeons because you will either do it inefficiently or you won't be able to do the floors that are worth your time, namely floor 5 and floor 6. And because of that, you will be better off doing some other things for money first. And for those who are just starting out, I recommend for those between Catacombs 9 to 14, I recommend the Undead Goggles or the Bonzo Mask for survivability, or even the Precursor Eye if you are very rich. The Necromancer Chestplate is also the best option if you are rich and you want to start off dungeons like a powerhouse. It only requires floor 6 completion. However, if you want to be on a budget, consider buying the legendary Zombie Soldier Chestplate on a budget. Next up, you will also want to consider getting the Necromancer Leggings or the Zombie Soldier Leggings if you're on a budget. You can also consider to get the Necromancer Boots, or if that's too expensive for you, you can consider the Spirit Boots, which is also a very powerful option. And let's say if you still want a cheaper option, the legendary Zombie Soldier Boots will also do. Next up, at Catacombs 15, you can replace the Zombie Soldier Chestplate with the Super Heavy Chestplate if you need more EHP. At Catacombs 16, you can replace the Undead Goggles or the Bonzo Mask with Shadow Goggles, and if let's say you want more damage, feel free to swap the Precursor Eye for the Shadow Goggles. At Catacombs 18, you can replace the Super Heavy Chestplate with the Dungeonized Tier 8 Perfect Armor if you still need more EHP. At Catacombs 21, you can do the same with 5-star Tier 9 Perfect Chestplate. Catacombs 24, you can do it with the 5-star Tier 10 Perfect Chestplate. And at Catacombs 25, you can swap the leggings and boots with 5-star Young Dragon leggings and boots. You can also consider using the 5-star Young Dragon chestplate, but it will give you less EHP than the 5-star Perfect chestplates. Next up, at Catacombs 27, you will get access to the 5-star Tier 11 Perfect chestplates, which can be used. Catacombs 28, you can swap leggings and boots with 5-star Wise Dragon pieces. The chestplate can also be used if you have no worries about EHP and if you want to focus purely on damage. And last but not least, at Catacombs 30, 5-star Tier 12 Perfect Armor can be used if you still are worrying about EHP. And that's pretty much it for all armor sets you will want to consider as a right-click mage in your Catacombs journey. Superior is not used for right click mages at all, and for left click mages, Shadow Assassin armor is used instead. However, there are also other options which you can consider using. Namely, there are two main mage builds in the meta right now, those that maximizes EHP and those that maximizes DPS. For those who want right click mages which maximizes damage per second, I recommend the 3/4 Wise Dragon armor and Shadow Goggles at CATACOMB 28, and that is really all you need if you want to maximize DPS. And for those who are looking for a high or max EHP builds for a mage, the absolute maximum you can get is the Precursor Eye, Necromancer Chestplate, Necromancer Leggings, and the Tier 12 Perfect Boots. Yes, surprise surprise, Tier 12 Perfect Boots has more EHP than Necromancer Boots, but the Necromancer Chestplate and Leggings have more EHP than Tier 12 Leggings. Don't ask me why, ask Hypixel. For max DPS builds, there aren't really any budget options because honestly, 3/4 Wise Dragon armor that is dungeonized isn't really that expensive, and Shadow Goggles are not very expensive. But for high EHP builds which cost more than max damage builds, you can always consider using the Super Heavy Chestplate or the Perfect Chestplates, and for the rest to be Necromancer armor pieces. And for those wondering about my current build, I am using the Tier 11 5-star Chestplate with the Shadow Goggles and Wise Dragon Leggings and Wise Dragon Boots. And with that, I hope this video helped. Be sure to leave a like and to subscribe. And with that, this is Flvff the Hammy, your friendly neighborhood hamster, signing out.